just the balance and the way that you were able to generate points.
Yeah, what actually stood out was Sacramento and Washington. Those two games, we really got better, I thought, offensively in terms of how we want to play from an identity standpoint, and the shots didn't fall. And the optics of your offense always looks different based on whether or not the shots are going in. And I thought the team showed great maturity because we weren't making a ton of shots early in the season, but we just continued to improve the things that generate good shots. And tonight we got good shots again, as we have the last two games, and they fell. So to me, it was more about the persistence that we've shown, through a rough shooting stretch, more so than how we played tonight in a vacuum.
Talked about it a little in the preseason, but with not going with Hart and Jay Will at all last season, you guys dealt with injuries last year. Obviously, both of those guys dealt with injury, but it would seem like you would still use those two. But was there something that they did this summer together that you felt like you can use those two together? It just seemed like they had really good chemistry tonight.
Yeah, I think Jay Will's shooting and skill gives you the option to do that. He's also improved defensively to a point where it's broadened the range of matchups he can take. And there's certain situations where we think that's advantageous. Tonight was one of them, and we think there's others. So it's just another option for us. It's another tool that we're trying to develop at appropriate times during the season. Tonight felt like an appropriate time.
Like you guys were really operating in that free throw line extended area. Was that something that you guys saw in film watching them that you could take advantage of, or was just the way the game went tonight?
It's the way the game went. We mixed our looks. I thought the guys did a great job, especially early in the game, just with the force that we played with on offense. There was just a sharpness and a speed to our actions and our organization that was really good. And so, like I said, I thought that's been the case the last couple games. It always looks and feels different when the shots go in, but I think the persistence when the shots weren't going in, the maturity to understand that we were on the right track and not to get distracted by the point total or the shooting numbers, I thought was, to me, that was the takeaway tonight.
Jason Wallace is a high impact player but pretty low usage player. What have you seen from him developmentally so far in these few games?
Offensively, yeah. I think it happens with guys that are high impact. They don't get seen as developmental players. He's a young player that's got a lot of runway and a lot of career ahead of him. Holmgren's like that. He's another high impact player now with a high floor, but that has a ceiling as well. And Kaysen's like that. So it's a responsibility we have to squeeze everything we can out of that, because he's going to be in the game. He's too good of a competitor. He's too good defensively. He's too impactful not to be in the games. So it's a matter of, can we develop a guy that's going to be out there as holistically as we can? And he's made great progress, which is starting to show up and will hopefully continue to show up.
Yeah. I was going to say, do you have thoughts on these early afternoon games?
No. I don't know. Get to eat dinner.
On paper, this team is pretty much the same from last year. But from a coaching lens, what's the most satisfying sign of growth that you've seen so far this season? Is it shot selection, maturity, composure?
I just think it has not been smooth sailing through the first 7 games. We've played a lot of close games that we've had to kind of grind out. We've played some games in the mud, which you have to be able to win a lot of different ways. And so embracing the game when it's a little ugly, I think, is important. We've got some injuries, and so we've had to lean on our depth and different combinations of people. And so I just think the persistence of the team, even the shooting, we've not shot the ball well until tonight. Tonight's the first night above a certain number, I'm sure. And so the persistence that the team showed in all those different situations, I think it builds a muscle, as you go through the season, and you can grow through these experiences. And the team's done a good job of that through 7 games with 75 to go.
I don't know if Kaysen's going to lead you in steals all season, but he had 4 tonight. Is there something he's done in his game defensively where he's just anticipating more? How's that working for him? He had 4 tonight, he's averaging over 3 for the season.
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I think, as time goes on and these guys gain more experience and they play against Jordan Poole more, they learn the league, they learn the pictures, their instincts start to grow over time, which I think just comes with experience. He's obviously got a gift on top of that, but you'd have to ask him in terms of what he's doing intentionally. But I do think he's gotten a little more intentional about his study and about learning the nuances of the game. I think Dort and Caruso have probably helped him with that to a degree. Those guys are pretty tight, and they put a lot of work in.
And also, all these injuries, like you're going deep in your bench. Carlson got some minutes tonight, and some guys that maybe normally wouldn't get as many minutes. How much does that help you maybe going forward down there?
It helps. It's huge. It's an 82-game season and 18-man roster. And as we know, we need everybody. We believe in everybody. Everybody's on a track where they're hopefully growing and developing. BC is an unbelievable example of that. He's a guy that early on has not gotten a lot of opportunity, and he just keeps himself ready, and every single time you put that guy in the game, he's ready to play. And so it's very easy to insert him midway through the first quarter in a game because he's ready to play in every circumstance. He's going to be ready to play in that one.
Related to an earlier question about sort of the double big lineups, but it's not just Jay Will, Chet, Hart. You threw Carlson out there too. Is that something that you guys came to the season wanting to do more of, or is that maybe sort of a result of some of the injuries of Dub, Kenrich, of guys who play the 4 more traditionally?
Wanting to do more of, again, because of the skill of Jay Will and BC and Hart, with his passing and his skill level. I mean, they're all very skilled players, which would be normally the reason why you can't do that. And they're all pretty good defensively. So we're not going to force it. We're going to allow it to happen organically, but it's something, we got a list of things that we'd like to get to. And when, opportunities present themselves, we take advantage of them.
You mentioned the injuries, the adversity you guys have faced. Just how much does it help to have a consistent source of production in Isaiah Hartenstein tonight? Bunch of rebounds, bunch of assists, efficient down low. I mean, just how much does that help to you guys?
Yeah, and Shea and Kaysen and Wiggins, the guys that have played most of the games have done a great job and brought a great level of stability. Hart again tonight was outstanding. On the glass, great balance on the offensive end of the floor between his playmaking, his spacing. He was in the flow of the game tonight, and he guarded Williamson. That can get overlooked, but that guy's a really tough cover. He bullies people, and to have a guy that can absorb him the way Hart can is a huge, huge luxury for us.
Anybody else?
All right, thank you.